Hey guys, welcome back to another Vlogmas video where we're stuck in my corner. I mean, technically I could have done this downstairs in my crafting area, but it's cold downstairs and I didn't want to. Besides, we have pretty decorations here, and that's half the fun. How is everybody doing? How is everybody? Yeah, that's actually how you're supposed to say it. How is everybody? I have had an interesting weekend. The weather is just it's weathering. When I went to bed last night, we were getting snow. And I went to bed, and before I went to bed, I looked out onto the deck, and there was probably an inch and a half, almost 2 inches out there. And the only thing I could think was, I don't want to shovel again because spoiler alert, I didn't shovel the last 2 inches that came down. So I was kind of dreading getting up. And it was really weird because yesterday we warmed up. It was probably 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which was a warm up. I mean, we were in the 20s most of last week. And I woke up this morning, and the first thing I did was go and look outside, and the snow was mostly gone. There was just this kind of scuzz look of snow on the deck. I mean, it's not gone out in the woods, obviously. We've gotten about 10 inches in the last week or so. So, I mean, that doesn't go away overnight. But all the stuff that I saw when I went to bed had just kind of shrunk down because it was raining. We've been above freezing all day, so I had to go and basically get the ice off the deck instead of getting snow off the deck. I don't know which is a worse prospect. I mean, ice is no fun and much heavier than snow, so maybe I would have preferred that it stayed snow. I should be very careful about saying anything like that because after getting up to, I think, like 36 or 37 degrees Fahrenheit today, tomorrow it's supposed to be about 30. And then the next 2 days after that, we're supposed to be in single digits for our highs. It's supposed to be like a high of 9 or 10 degrees. Thankfully, right now in the forecast, they're saying the overnight lows are only supposed to be around like 0 to 2 degrees, which is bad. That's very cold, but at least right now they're not saying we're supposed to be in the negatives yet. The only good thing about being in the negatives, which I'm sure we're going to hit, we do every single year. The only good thing about that is you can do the boiling water trick, which I love to do. You just take a cup or a pan of boiling water and you go outside. I think it has to be at least 10 degrees below zero, but you throw the water in the air and it just instantly turns to fog. It's the funniest thing ever. I don't know why it amuses me so much, but it always does. So that's been my week. I'm hoping to get into town this week, but between the weather and weird snow predictions, I don't know what day that's going to be. Hopefully, it will be at least one of them. I still do want to take you guys out to Big Spring. Again, that's going to just all depend on the weather, etc. But the one thing that I can promise is we're going to have more silly little crafts. And I do have another silly little craft for us tonight. I feel like there are so many people that do like upscale fancy crafts. That's not a me thing. I'm not an upscale person. I've never been an upscale person. I'm just me. And if I tried to say, "Oh, this is the hottest thing on Instagram," dude, I'd be lying. I don't want to spend a lot of money, and I don't want you guys to have to spend a lot of money to get a decoration that honestly is kind of cute. Maybe a little kitschy, maybe a little silly, but I like things that you can do with your grandma or your grandkids. I like things that you can do with little kids or medium-sized kids or whatever, and things that you can do with stuff that you have on hand. That's important because sometimes you just have to have something on hand, like a paper plate. Yep, I am doing another paper plate thing, and this one is really nice because you can make it a little bit fancier, like I did with one of them, and you can do it for any holiday. So what you're going to do is you're just going to cut out this middle bit because we're making a wreath. So here we go. We're just going to cut out the middle. And don't worry if it's a little bit raggedy because it's going to get covered up. And the coolest thing about this, now I used construction paper for the next step, but I was thinking about it and you could probably use wrapping paper if you had it on hand. It would be a little bit floppier than construction paper, but I don't necessarily think that that is the worst idea ever. I mean, it could be really, really pretty. So you get through, you get your little circle cut out here. You can save this and maybe make a little Christmas tree or something to put back into the center. Like maybe even, I wonder if I could do just off the cuff here, maybe like a little holly leaf or something. You know, you do a little leaf shape and then like a little circular holly berry. I have no idea if this is going to work out or not, but you know what? It was something that just occurred to me, so I figured I'd try it. You know, just something. This is going to be silly looking, but you know what? That's okay too. All right, I don't know if that actually looks like a leaf, but you could probably color that red and turn these into little leaves, maybe even do a couple more little circles to look like more holly berries. But that's just an idea. That was just a random idea I had while sitting here with you. Anyway, you have your basic wreath shape. Now you can go through and trim it up a little bit. I'm not going to bother because, like I said, you don't really need to. What you do need, though, is your next step is a sheet of construction paper, if you have it, wrapping paper, whatever, and you're just going to fold it in half and kind of give it a little crease, just like that. You just need it to be a nice half, and then you're just going to cut it kind of like that, and just all the way down. You're just going to go ahead and cut this into little strips, like so. You can make them as thick or as thin as you want to. It does not really matter. And then, from the opening side, not the folded side, we need that, you're just going to go ahead and cut just a little V shape in the bottom. Just so it kind of looks like cute little ribbons. Just like that. And you can do it in multiple colors. As you can see, I have some all prepared here in red and green. And then it's the easiest part ever, because what you're going to do is the only other thing that you really need, and do I have it on hand? I did. Ah, there it is a glue stick. So, all you're going to do is spread glue in about this third. Okay, you don't want it on the entire thing, and this is something that you can have your little kids do, whatever. And you just spread a little bit of glue on it. Try not to spread it on your leg. That would be a terrible idea. And then you're just going to lay it in. Just like that. There we go. There's your first piece. And then if you're using alternating colors, well then you get your red. You spread your glue. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do the whole thing because, you know, it takes a hot minute. But it's a fun little craft and you just keep on going. So here we go again. And you want them to overlap enough so that you don't have big gaps of white. All right? And that's it. You just keep on going. It's very easy. And I was afraid it was going to look really, really tacky. But I'm actually kind of pleased with how they turned out. So here is the little Christmas one. I made a little tree and a little star hanging above it. It's silly. It's fun. You can hang it on your wall. You could hang it anywhere you want. And I was thinking, and I don't know if, I mean, I think it's pretty, but I don't know if they make Hanukkah wreaths. But as David has pointed out a few times, Hanukkah is also in this time of year, and I made a Hanukkah wreath. Now with this one, it was a little bit more difficult because I drew in a Star of David and then used an X-Acto knife to cut it out. But I think it looks really pretty. Plus, I had this beautiful sparkly paper, and I was like, I want to use sparkly paper. So there you go. And you know what? This is one of those crafts that I think you could probably do just about for any holiday. Like, you could do this with orange and black and put a little pumpkin in the middle of it. You could do it with red and brown and put a turkey in the middle of it. You could do it with like pink and blue and put an Easter bunny in it. This is just, it's a really neat craft that I thought was kind of cool looking. So there we go. There is another easy craft that you can do with all ages to go with the little trees and the toilet paper flower. And yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was easy, and it just seems like a very me-coded thing. You could probably upscale this if you wanted to, if you thought about it really, really hard. I'm not really an upscale person, so I think I am going to hang these on my wall back there behind my other little crafts. And yeah, now I'm going to go look up some other stuff to do that could also be a lot of fun. So thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for tuning in and letting me share my love of silly little crafts. And just thank you for being you. Have a joyous holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate, and I will see you tomorrow.